So on the money thing too, maybe we could start talking a little bit about, I don't know how much research you've done on this, but about the shifts in the digital dollar and some of the shifts around. Ripples actually plays a big role in that. The blockchain, and I work a lot with a lot of people that are in the blockchain crypto space, and they're good, decent people, idealistic people, but I don't think they realize, or I don't think a lot of them realize just how this technology is actually going to be used to do the very opposite of what they think that it's supposed to do. They think it's this blockchain's a liberating thing, but it's actually going to be used, like their version of blockchain is actually going to be used to create this system of control, and a lot of it has to do with the money system, where they'll give you your UBI, but it's going to be attached, and you're going to have to behave.
For sure. Yeah, and they talk about this universal basic income, and they say, well, it'd be we could release it as a Fed coin, a Federal Reserve cryptocurrency. All right, well, we could do that, and then say, well, we'll pay you a universal basic income, but it'll come in the form of this Fed coin. You go, great, I need free money, because the government gives out free money all the time, right? They're trying to invent new ways to collect money from you. They don't normally give it out. Right. So if they're giving it out, there's got to be a catch. And like most things, the mouse doesn't understand why the cheese is free. That's why they get stuck in the mousetrap. And these people are seeing universal basic income, and they're going, great, the government's going to give us free money. Well, just understand that will be tied to your behavior. You might have to show proof of vaccination. You might have you'll have to jump through some hoops. You'll have to conduct yourself in a way that is congruent with how they want you to behave.
When the money can be programmable, like to a very specific degree. Like they can say, like you can only shop at this store.
They do it with EBT cards already. You can't buy cigarettes and alcohol.
Exactly.
And people would say, that's reasonable. I can get that. Well, what if they made you only shop at the company store? Right. And the company store nowadays is Amazon. Right, and what we've seen over the last year is the destruction of small and medium-sized businesses, which I would suggest is not accidental, due to these insane mandates coming from governors that say, well, Best Buys and Walmarts can remain open, but these smaller ones have to close because coronavirus.
Right.
And you're like, huh?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
And so you see this destruction of the small and medium-sized businesses, and the amplification of the larger retailers, and they're given a totally unfair playing field. And you can envision a world in which your UBI would be given to you in the form of a Fed coin, and that Fed coin only works at the company store, and you're only allowed to buy the things that they allow you to buy with it. And so you're getting your free money, but it's not really free. It's tied to something. Oh, and by the way, you've had to submit to the vaccine agenda. Maybe you have to give biometric samples of yourself. Maybe it involves retina scans and things like that. They want to know who you are and what you're doing, and make sure that you do what they want you to do. They'll dangle the carrot. But remember, we're dealing with the government, and they have a rather large stick that they're not afraid to use as well. So it's an interesting time when people view, it's like with cryptocurrency, it's much like a gun. It's not evil or good. It depends on whose hands it's in. And so you talk about this blockchain technology, and people in the crypto world say it's great. It's the great liberator. Nothing can be removed from it. Well, what if the government has different plans for that? What if they have a different version of how they want to use that, or these cryptocurrencies? So to say, oh, cryptocurrencies are great because they're safe and private. Not all of them. I mean, some of them are and some of them aren't.
Well, I've yet to find one that's designed the way that I think it would address all of the concerns that I have. And like one of my big things is like, to me, it's like, I don't care. Money shouldn't have value in and of itself. Like it should just be a representation of an exchange that happened, and the value is the value that people created for one another. That's the value, and this is just a token. Doesn't matter. It shouldn't, and it should be accessible to anybody who wants to create value. And so the challenge that I have with you have these people that they're mining all this, and you're giving, you already have, like in the Bitcoin space, people, and even the Chinese government, now has massive amounts of power within that system. So I view everything through the lens of power. Yeah. Like, how is power distributed in the system? And I love the the language and some of the things that people talk about within that space. But if you actually dig down and look at all these different types of coins, there are structural problems. There are design problems with every one of them. And I think that people want to have, it comes with the whole thing of like, people want to have a savior, they need a politician to say that, oh, it's going to be this is going to save us. And it's like, we have to be able to criticize everything, even the things that you love,
For sure.
and say, okay, here's some problems here. And I know that there's been some debates within that world and some pushback, but at the end of the day, we have to think about like, what is it that we want to accomplish, and then work out from there, rather than like, here's the solution and then work in from there. You know what I mean? So like, I want everyone to have access to the ability to take care of themselves and to be happy, and there's plenty of land. There's plenty of space for everyone to live and find their space and to live in this world. But we're serving these other things, and so we're like working from the wrong direction, right?